So let's talk about project resources and milestones. Okay, milestones they're tasks that do not normally occupy a period of time other than a day. And I think we've got some important milestones here. The system goes live on the 5th of April. So that's like your ultimate milestone there. And here the beta version should go live early February. I think it's helpful, although I haven't seen it in the sample work, to add a milestone. It doesn't take very long. So what we do is we go to the Gantt chart. Remember, we find that by going to Team Planner Gantt chart. And as I've said in a different video, I very much consider this view your launch pad, home page, safe place, whatever you want to call it, for when you're using Project, because Project has so many different views and reports and things that it can get really confusing. So if you feel lost, try and find Gantt chart on the Team Planner and get a little bit of sanity back. So let's go to Project and let's insert a milestone. Now, I don't see it right now, so I'm going to cheat, and this will be useful to you perhaps. Okay, if you're going to tell me what to do, you can insert milestones, and the milestone I'm going to do, and I'm going to get this from the scenario, is beta version should go live February. Beta version of system goes live early Feb. Okay, a date. Well, everything that I've been doing on this has been going from the autumn of 2020 to the spring of 2021. And I think a good date, remember, you've got some scope here to use common sense. It's not all set in stone, but I would say that the first Friday of that month, February 2021, is perfect. Monday morning, probably not so good, but a Friday I think is the perfect time to have a milestone, and there the milestone has appeared there. We should also have a milestone for the end of the project, and so we can do that. Okay, I'm going to cheat again, and that's got to be early April, and this one I'll do end project. Okay, 0 days, of course, it's that they don't have any length normally, and it's got to be for the start of the tax year. Whiz on through then to 2021. You can do this manually, but it just seems to be a bit easier to do this. And the new tax year, I believe, would start on Monday the 5th of April. There's a planning thing here. You entered a start date for end project that is close to the finish date of acceptance testing. Should I link them? Linking tasks isn't something that I'm really discussing in this video, but if this task, acceptance testing, is the final task that I'm planning to do, then it wouldn't be a bad idea to link this milestone to that. If I don't want to do that, I just do move to end project. Let me just have a check of the scenario. You will be going back and forth between the scenario and project, because that's how you're going to make this work, by piecing it together like a jigsaw. So was the last thing acceptance testing? Yes, the sales staff will carry out acceptance testing for 1 day at the end of the parallel running stage. So I'm going to take a flyer here and I'm going to say, yeah, I will link them. And so whenever the acceptance testing moves, that milestone would move as well. So there we go. If we change that date there to the 8th, sure enough, the milestone moves as well. Not that we necessarily want to do that. So that's milestones. The other thing I was going to talk about was adding a resource, this time not a person, but a thing. In the scenario we have here, a server is really important. It's installed by a contractor, and a server is a work resource, and it's something that we need to add. So if we want to see what our resources are, I go to the resource sheet here, And these are all people, but if I go here and go to add resources, I'll add sorry, I got that wrong, it's material resource, okay, new server, okay, it's a material resource, and there it is, and that needs to be installed. So it's not amazingly clear from the sample material when this actually happens, but obviously all the software development and testing presupposes the fact that it's been installed. So again, using my common sense, realizing that the scenario isn't completely set in stone, I again will take a flyer, and I would say that, well, look, I've put one in there of server software installation, but no date. But if I go above that, so I'll insert a task above, and I will say this is the server installation. Okay, and let's think. All the planning and all the blah blah is happening in October. I think it would be quite reasonable, as the server itself doesn't actually really benefit from the analysis stage, but we could say, for example, it could be installed on 26th of October, and so that has occurred there. I believe it's 2 days, so I put that in there, and there is also a contractor supplied to do that. And what we have to do also is go to the whole row there and assign a resource and assign the server. And you'll see from the sample material that the student did assign resources as well as people to some of the tasks. Now, I don't have a server installer person, so back to the resource sheet, and here we go. So server contractor, okay, they're a person. They may have some costs. I'm not going to look at that information right now, but what I'm going to do is back to my safe space, back to my Gantt chart here, and I'm looking for the server installation. Yes, and we go to assign resources there, and let's get that chap on there. Or could be a lady, I suppose. And there we go. So in this video here, we've just had a think about the use of milestones. So they are timeless points, they're dates basically where certain things can happen. Milestones, here's the one for the end of the project, can be linked to tasks, but they should always be linked very carefully and always to tasks that immediately precede them. We've also seen the creation of a material resource here, the new server, and we also created a new person in it as well, and we assigned them to the server installation, which we decided could happen around about the time of the development phase. In fact, you'll see there that it's happening right during the analysis phase. Okay. So I'm giving that to you as a sort of rough example, and I'm not saying that that's the definitive answers from the scenario, but as long as what you say makes sense and your write-up makes sense, you will be awarded appropriate credit. Thanks for watching.